All right, we are here. We are live. How y'all doing, everybody? It's your boy 100, aka Chaz, aka Orion. We about to get it in, and this right here is about how Tank, R&B singer Tank, doubled down on his controversial statements on the Angela Yee podcast, Lip Service, about how sucking a dick doesn't make a man gay. Okay, now I went over this in my last video, talking about Tank and how sucking a man's dick does make you gay if you do it one time, even if you're just thinking about doing it, that makes you gay. Okay, and let alone doing it multiple times, more than once, that makes you gay. Okay, period. The reason why it makes you gay is because you, as a heterosexual male, always have the opportunity to have that sexual experience with the opposite sex. But if you choose to do it with the same sex, that makes you gay. Okay? Now, he doubled down on his controversial statements. Without any further ado, I'm going to share my screen with you. Let me share my screen. All right. And I'm going to let Tank, from his own lips, tell you what he said. Okay? Here we go. All right.
Service. My interview on Lip Service. Look, make sure you go watch Lip Service. My interview on Lip Service, Angela Yee and the girls. I said what I said. Y'all so goddamn homophobic. You got to watch the whole clip. In any event, it's just homophobia is real. Let me just tell you that. It's just as real as racism, classism, all the.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to pause it right there. All right. See, he doubled down on his statements. Okay. Which, he doubled down on his statements. That's him. But this is what I have a problem with. He said homophobia is real and it's just as bad as racism. I have a huge problem with that. As a Black American, I'm very offended when people compare racism to homophobia. This is an agenda that LGBT pushes on society. They try to push this agenda that Black people are homophobic. It's very dangerous to push that agenda. See, what they try to do with this homophobic or homophobia narrative is they say that, well, we're pressuring LGBT people to kill themselves, or we're killing them out of our homophobia. Now, what that does is set a bad precedence on Black males, because this ultimately attacks Black heterosexual men. Now, Black heterosexual men, we're already being mass incarcerated for the crimes that we do commit. Okay, so my question to people who are promoting this homophobia agenda against Black people, my question is this: what is the end game here? What is the end game? What are you actually advocating for? Because by advocating that sets a precedence for us to be more mass incarcerated. That sets a precedent for us to be more policed because of our homophobia. Okay? So this is why I'm very, very against the LGBT community and their propaganda. And they use Black people to push this agenda as if this is a civil rights issue. This is not a civil rights issue. All right? Being gay has to do with sexual preference. If you choose to suck a man's dick, that's a choice. You have a choice. You don't have to suck a man's dick. Okay? You wasn't born with the obligation to suck anybody's dick. Period. That is a choice. That is a choice. Okay? So you cannot compare homophobia to racism. And this is what I talked about in my last video, how about motherfuckers who are uninformed, or they're either uninformed or they are they just don't give a fuck. It's one of the two. You're either uninformed or you just don't give a fuck. There's no way that you don't know about the agenda that's being pushed on heterosexual males. You, of all people, should know, Tank. All your music is about heterosexuality. supposedly. Supposedly, it was targeted towards women. Supposedly, your music is targeted towards women. You, as a heterosexual male, should understand more than anybody that there is an agenda to buck break Black Americans. And this agenda is being pushed heavy right now. And for you to be oblivious to that, that speaks volumes about your character. Okay? Either one, you are misinformed or are not informed, or you just don't give a fuck about Black people in America. All right? To make statements like that, to make blanket statements like that, let me show y'all something. Hold on. And I'm gonna let Tank, finish what he was saying, and I'm gonna address the statements that he made in this, but I had to stop it right there to shut that shit down. Homophobia is not comparable to racism. You gotta understand, racism is systemic. Racism is systemic. And the only form of racism is white supremacy. Without white supremacy, there is no racism. And that's globally. That's globally. There is no mass incarceration for gay people. There is no Jim Crow for gay people. There is no Tulsa bombings for gay people. There is no domestic terrorism for gay people. We are not keeping gay people from housing. We're not redlining gay people from having access to capital, having access to housing, having access to business loans. We're not controlling in any way of LGBT economy. Okay, we are not lynching gay people. There is no police brutality against gay people. I mean, the list goes on and on. You cannot fucking compare domestic terrorism that Black people face on a day-to-day with challenges of the LGBT community. And there is no challenges within the LGBT community that they're facing. Because let me tell you something. The LGBT community is not being controlled by Black people, even though they are putting a bunch of Black people out there in the front. All right? They're putting Black people out there on the front lines of that movement so that they can shame other Black people and buck break Black people to go along with this fucking agenda to make it seem as if it's a civil rights issue, but it's not. Okay? So I have to be very clear about that. Very clear. All right? So let's take a listen to what he says.
It's Angela Yee and the girls. I said what I said. Y'all so goddamn homophobic. You gotta watch the.
And it's not fucking funny either. I'm not fucking laughing. All right? It's just not funny.
The whole clip. In any event, it's just homophobia is real. Let me just tell you that. It's just as real as racism, classism, all of these things, and just as damaging. And it plagues our community the worst. That's
our community. Notice that he says it plagues our community. How does it plague our community? And I'm going to address that after this video.
This can't be used as a negative. You can't use a human being's existence as a negative.
What? You can't use a human being's existence as a negative. What if they're negative human beings? What about Hitler? Huh? What about Leopold? Huh? What are you fucking talking about?
We're going through enough shit. You know what I'm saying? We're going through enough. Like, you don't do that. Like, I get it. You want to call me gay, whatever. I don't have to defend that to you or to anybody. You don't have that power over me. But let's get back to positivity, man. In any event, October 25th, this album is coming out.
Okay, see? Clout chasing. All right, got an album coming out, say some controversial statements, then you double down on those controversial statements. Hey, man, let's all love each other, man, and let's all just sing Kumbaya and walk into the sunset. Oh, yeah, by the way, my album's coming out. Man, fuck out of here, dude. I lost all respect for you, Tank. I used to love Tank music, man. I swear, I used to love Tank music, but now, I'm charging Tank to the game. All right. Now, what I have pulled up, if you can see. Now, hold on. Let me put my screen on the other side, just in case. So I don't want it to run into what I'm about to show y'all. But look, this is a group of all of the fucking hate groups the anti-LGBT hate groups. Okay, now these are all white supremacist organizations. These are all white. These groups are all financed and controlled, sponsored by white people. If you look, black people don't have no groups targeted any group of people negatively. We don't have no groups targeting. We don't even have groups targeting the KKK. We don't even have groups targeting white supremacists, let alone LGBT people and all this other shit. Okay, but look, you got the Abiding Truth Ministries. A lot of these groups are Christian organizations. White Christian organizations. These are white Christian organizations that are targeting the LGBT community. All right. This is a list. Okay. This is a list. Look, heterosexuals organized for a moral environment, home. All right. This is in Illinois. Okay. Liberty Council. I mean, Pacific Justice Institute. All of these organizations, and none of these organizations are black organizations. None of these organizations are controlled by black people. Not fucking one of them. Not one. Not one. Not one. This one's in Scottsdale, Arizona. I mean, they're all over the nation. They're all over the nation. Look, Bible Believers Fellowship. This is a hate group against LGBT people. Okay? So, miss me with that whole black people are plagued with homophobia, Tank. We're not plagued with homophobia. Maybe white people are. Maybe white people, and if you look at it, white people are the only people with the means of control to control laws, that can reprimand LGBT people or reward LGBT people. These are the people that control whether or not LGBT people can get married and stuff like that. These are the people that can control whether or not the LGBT community have access to resources, have access to capital. Okay, the LGBT community just got Procter and Gamble to basically get all of their, feminist symbols off of their products, and they try to make it seem as if the transgender community did that. They try to make it seem as if the transgender community did that, and I'm going to cover this in another video. But let me tell you something. The LGBT community, they have not been economically excluded like black Americans have. And this is why the LGBT community gets shit done. Because it's controlled by white males, white dollars. All right? So that's all I have to say about this. Tank doubled down on his statements. I'm doubling down on my statements. Yes, it does make you gay if you suck a dick, Tank. First off. Second off, black people are not homophobic people. That is a bold-faced fucking lie. That's a bold-faced lie. Okay? And that's all I got to say about this. That's all I got to say. All right? If y'all like this video, hit the like button. Share it. Please share this video. Please share this video because we don't need this shit all up in our mix. We don't need no more black people talking about some black folks are homophobic. Please show them this video. Please direct them to that list that I showed you. Please direct them to that list. Matter of fact, if you want to go see the list of all the hate groups, or all these hate groups, it's on splcenter.org. This is the database where they are watching for hate groups. Okay, these are all hate groups that are affiliated with the LGBT community as of 2018, as of last year. It was updated. Okay. All right. So anyway, man, appreciate y'all that have listened to this video. I'm out. I'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be cool. 100.